talk a little bit more about resilience. And I'd love to turn to you, Anshu. As a veteran in this space, Gunj is, been incredibly successful and has had such a long journey of, I think shaping a lot of the sector. So I'd love to hear from you. Of course, we know about all the successes, but maybe the early days or when perhaps there might have been challenges and what that taught you about what it means to build a resilient organization.
Cool. Thank you, Rachita. And I think I would request if all of us can switch on our camera. Otherwise, we just talk to the walls and the tiles. No point in doing that. Whosoever can. Very nice to see this happening, because these are the conversations which we need more and more, for sure. And in our game, I think. So I always compare it with something like you have a plot and you have to make a building. And then you have something which is 100 years old, 200 years old, you have to demolish that and then have to create a building. So I think we were doing the second one, where we were saying there is no donor, there is no beneficiary, all are stakeholder. The entire work depends on the second-hand goods of people. And we are going and telling people that this is not donation, this is a discard, and we need to be thankful to the people who are using our second-hand material. And can you imagine, this is something we're doing from the day one. Okay? I remember in the initial phase, we used to call something called Vastradan. And then we realized, no, this is not the way. Daan to hum karte hi nahi hai. So then it became Vastra Samman and then so many other names, with time. So everywhere we were just trying to challenge, not for the sake of challenging something. Okay, it was not like because we have to challenge, that's why we are challenging, but because we were not a part of that vocabulary or that language or that thought process. I mean, हम लोग को लग ही नहीं रहा था कि we belong to this, right? So it has to change. And anywhere where we thought that we need to raise money kind of thing, we miserably failed. तो जैसे we created something called Team 5000. हमने कहा भाई 5,000 people will give us some 1,000 rupees a month or something like that. And I'm sure 100% people would have given us also. It's not that people were not willing to give us, because ultimately money is coming from people only in our case. I mean, we are not the Ambanis and the Birlas where the money is there. तो हमारा तो सब public से आ रहा था. But our problem was with our DNA. And that is something many of us really face. It was 100% impossible for us to go to someone and ask for something. Even today, if you see all our communication, we talk of all kind of material. Right now, we are almost 1,400 people as an institution. Okay, and at the back end, it's a hardcore logistics job. If you see tons and tons of material, we move, and we don't give it away to people. People then work on certain things. You know the model, fine. I'm not going in that. It's a hardcore logistics kind of thing. So we will talk about all kind of material, and then write a small line which says, and the monetary resources for the logistics and purchases. That is it. So that was a big thing, and it became a little bit complicated for us, for sure, because we were not able to ask, we were not able to communicate. And there were a lot of people, even today, a lot of people come to us and they say, oh, I do this, and I support like so many organizations. I give material to this, I give money to this, whatever, or I sponsor this, and I give material to Gunj. Okay? Now, and this is something, such a common thing, especially with the corporate sector and all, where they send trucks and trucks load of their waste material, unsold inventory, dead inventory, everything, without understanding that if our t-shirt is coming to me, and this is something I keep repeating whenever these conversations happen, that t-shirt will be sorted by a paid person sitting at a paid place, will be transported by a paid transport. Right? People were not understanding, and we were also failing to make them understand, क्योंकि हमारे अंदर से ही नहीं आ रहा था कि हम किसी को बोल दें कि भाई, what. Second, I would say कि we also miserably failed. अभी थोड़ा score is better. We work with more than 550 odd organizations all across the country. So it's a huge network called Sanjha, with whom we work with partners. but we miserably failed in working with the big organizations. Okay. Smaller organizations, we were still able to talk to each other, and because we were not bringing a new program, okay, we were saying that if you work on education, health, whatever, we are just coming with some new ideas on that, and you keep doing your work. And we were saying that material is also a currency and material is also a resource. So हम लोग बड़े organization के पास जा रहे थे, हम कह रहे थे कि भाई आप if you are making some water structure, why don't you integrate this model and make the half payment in kind and half payment in money? But it was absolutely impossible for those institutions to understand, and maybe our failure also कि हमें भी लगा कि नहीं यार एक level के बाद we are not working with them. And third, I would say, I think in policies also, in the written policies we failed, and I'll not call it a failure, to be honest. Half of it I'll not call it a failure, because failure happens when you give your 200% and then it doesn't happen. So in all these three things, what I just mentioned, we actually didn't give even our 100%. तो मेरे लिए failure नहीं है ये. It is an incomplete effort. Failure का मजा अभी हमने चखा नहीं, क्योंकि हमने मेहनत ही नहीं करी उसमें जितनी हमको करनी चाहिए. But हाँ, ये सच है कि even after so many years of our work, yes, large number of people are trying to do work on cloth, dignity, whole lot of things have started happening. But ऐसा नहीं है कि right to cloth has become a reality. So that is somewhere we always feel. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि right to cloth करके लोगों को कपड़ा मिल ही जाता है. जब रोटी नहीं मिली, पढ़ाई नहीं मिली, तो यही काम मिल जाता. But at least it should have been there. I'll stop here and yeah.
Thank you. That's actually that's so interesting that that you mentioned about the we give clothes to Goonj and not money, because it has so much to do with like perception, and it's such a small thing, but it makes such a difference in terms of support that you get. So yeah, thank you for that.
Interestingly, Rachita, even today people think that we are in the business of collecting and distributing clothes.
Yeah,
that's another important problem of positioning, right? I mean, we are a hardcore rural development institution. Even in the pandemic year, we were able to make or repair about 300 kilometers of village roads by using this barter economy concept. But हमारी positioning कपड़ा है या जूता चप्पल है या पुराना बर्तन है, because that's an easy touch point, and we have not been able to correct that. मेहनत ही नहीं कर रहे उस पे.
Yeah. And since you mentioned the pandemic, and anyway, I think Goonj, has probably seen a lot of cycles of the way whether it's across different governmental regimes or even just how the sector has changed, over the decades. And I was, I'd love to actually hear from you, your thoughts on, what it takes to build internal resilience at an organizational level, but then, maybe if we could also speak at given where the sector is today, and that the challenges we're facing, what do you think that it is that we need?
So as an institution, and we just had a almost 3-hour conversation of 200 people recently within the organization. As an organization, we all need to understand that we need to be focused on the purpose and the people. Okay? And policy and process are absolutely secondary to support that people in the process, or people in the purpose part. Right? But unfortunately, we succumb to the policies, we succumb to the processes which we create. Yeah. So I think the institutions in this pandemic time, the institutions who were not finicky to their processes, they did well. Okay, like we are very finicky about certain things because we have spent 20 years to create those things. But imagine in the month of March itself, we all came on Zoom, I think for the first time, all of us together. And we said, let's just find out and see what is that which we don't want. So we know that logistics will not operate in the same way. Hub and spoke model will not work. Second-hand material will not come to us. Okay. Now, what is that which we have? We have the knowledge of the communities. We have created a grid in the country which is like the pipeline. जैसे telecom वालों ने optical fiber बिछा दिए, Goonj has also done something, which is the relationships, understanding, logistics. 14 टन में कितना आएगा, 8 टन में कितना आएगा, एक गनी बैग कहाँ से मिलेगा, all that kind of stuff, right? So how do you just leave all the processes and systems? So we will not create a field visit report for a partner the way we do and spend a week, but we will take a reference from someone, and even on Aadhaar card or some card or no card, we'll create a partnership and we'll take those risks. So that's how suddenly we grew in that. And we also started, I mean, you can imagine some 3.5 lakh kgs of procurement of local vegetables and fruits. So we broke that entire myth that food kit means only dal chawal. Why can't a 10 kg vegetable become a food kit? And that not only gives nutrition, instant thing, but also secures the livelihood of farmers and bring money for the seed for the next crop. So that's how we started doing it. Some organizations did that, but even in the corporate sector, to be honest, most of the organizations are very sticky to the processes. Sitting in your own home, you are insisting that even in the pandemic time, someone will give you a weekly report where you are not going out for 6 months. And so I mean, we all are also human beings. We were also, equally at risk. There is hardly, most of us have gone through very tough phase of COVID also, because it was absolutely impossible for us to sit at home. Half a kg of potato, as I often say, half a kg of potato you bring home, you wash it for half an hour so that the virus is not there. And all of us were handling trucks load of material every day. उस समय virus नहीं था because हमारा कीड़ा ही नहीं था, that way. So I think, तो people, it's very important for us resilience का जब आप बात करते हैं, तो वैसे भी इंडिया में तो क्या resilience is a curse. मेरे को तो resilience word से ही गुस्सा आता है आजकल. I mean, we are too resilient. That's why we are in such huge mess as a nation. But if you see more than that, the adaptability is very important. Non-stickiness to the processes which you love otherwise, because aapke created hai, self-created hai. That is very important, that you leave those first, and see that what is the need of the hour. So, for example, why did Gunj move into medicines or Asha worker kit and this kit and that kit? There was a lot of resistance even within the organization. But we said it's not about medicine. It's not about our expertise in medicines. If we don't have, we will have someone who has the expertise. But our expertise is reaching out to the people. Our expertise is relationship. We can be connected with thousands of Asha workers in 2 days because we work in the remotest possible parts, and medicine is just a product for us. Nothing else. It's not about that we are going to become medical expert. And it's not that after the pandemic, this particular phase is over, we will always be working on medicines. No. I mean, we have decided we are not working on that. That was a phase we just used our strength, delivered, stopped, and we're not emotionally attached with that. So that emotional detachment is also extremely, extremely important at so many steps. And most important part, in dealing with any disaster, extremely, extremely important to stand with your teams. Okay? Because सामने वाले का तो you are handling the grief. But there is also a huge amount of risk within the team. And this was one disaster in our 23 years of this work. All other disasters we handled, there was a community which was in grief, and we were okay and we were handling it. COVID is the only disaster when the people in the grief were handling grief of others. And it's very complicated for the sector.
Yeah.
तो grief ढूंढने के धंधे में ही है, overall sector ही का काम ही है. But this was the first time कि आप खुद भी उतने grief में हैं, and you're going through such tough phase. You're losing friends, colleagues. You have all kind of fear with your, old age parents to kids to whatnot, and you are still handling that every day.
Thank you so much. I mean, there's so much that you said that I think, really resonated in terms of purpose and people coming first, process and policies coming second, and also really just being able to respond to the immediate need. And of course, also standing with your teams, being agile.